Yeah, I've been indoctrinated. Where I'm from is a very loaded question, and I really hate that question. I was born in New Orleans, then I lived in Texas, like in the suburbs out of Houston, then Puerto Rico, then San Francisco is where I graduated high school, then a year off in Houston, Texas, and now I live in Brooklyn, New York. I'm currently in school at SVA for photography, so trained. SVA has been like really great actually. I have a professor who is like one of my heroes. Her name's Tanith Berkeley, and I interned with her like this past semester, and she was a critique teacher of mine, and just like the facilities and having professors that are working in a way that's challenging and really quite relevant and are into having like an open dialogue, because photography is such an ever-changing medium, is exciting. I mean, and the fact that I have like a chair who's down for me to tell him that I want a class that he doesn't offer and then I'll make it, is like always very sick. New York has definitely brought a group of people to me that I would have never worked with who are really excited to collaborate, and that's affected my work a lot because my work definitely strongly relies on like my relationships with people, because that's what it's all about. And I don't know, I wouldn't have met like the artists that I know who have given me opportunities to collaborate with them, which I feel like is like what everything I do is. I don't consider myself like a solo working artist really, so. But otherwise, I feel like I go out of the city to make work, so. I actually started making art more as like a painter when I was younger, and then photography kind of entered my life in my sophomore year of high school, and I started buying like snapshot cameras at like thrift stores and just like taking pictures of friends or my lack thereof friends at the time. And on my year off, my mom was really sick and I photographed her and documented her during that time, and it made me really fall in love with taking pictures. It made me realize that like I could truly make some sort of object out of a relationship with someone. I started working, with Rookie, it was like a few months after it launched. Yeah, so almost 4 years now, because that's how old it is, which is really crazy to think. My friend Eleanor Hardwick, who shoots for Rookie, was one of the original people who started it. Came to New York, and a group of friends and I went with her to Coney Island and took some snaps of each other, and Elle asked if we could send them all to Tavi, and then that was it. They liked my work, and yeah, I've been indoctrinated. I first started directing music videos last November, so about a year ago was my first video. I decided I had seen Greta play, and the first time I ever saw her play, she made me cry, and I thought she was the most amazing musician, or just a really amazing person, and I still stand by that. She invited me over her house, and we stayed in her house for 24 hours straight and just listened to a song which was Buses. Her album wasn't coming out for another 6 or 7 months, and just drank a lot of Yoo-Hoo and said, let's make a party where we drink a lot of Yoo-Hoo, and just storyboarded it kind of, which we totally forgot at her house and then disregarded when we came to my house to make the video. I just pretended I was throwing a party and called a lot of people over and used my $25 budget on chocolate milk. And yeah, I it was really scary because it's definitely much more of a production than my previous my videos following, because it was about corralling a group of people and had more of a narrative. But it was fun because it wasn't so different than like choreographing a photo shoot, I think. I think I just try to be as earnest as possible and like don't try to grasp too hard on like any other aesthetic. And definitely because I'm trained at like an art school, like I'm not a stranger to like having my work be kind of academic, but I really like that and really like to like have photo history and art history impact my work, because I think it's very important to like continue to have that theme throughout, or at least be educated and have other people be educated. I don't know if I'm even still comfortable. I think it's just like such a goofy thing. It's more like a comfort object more than the act being comfortable, because I think photography is so much like closer, at least for me, like performance art, because I put so much of myself in it and like projected myself onto the people or the subjects or whatever it is I'm photographing. So that's always uncomfortable. It's a comfort object in social situations of just physically having like a teddy bear in my pocket, but otherwise, no. I've always done like little doodles, and then around last year I started, I've always kind of done little comics in my diary, which I've kept a diary since I was little, but I always wrote Dear Diary, and so I started doing more specific comics in that, and the only person I'd show is my best friend at the time. She has like a really freaky shrine of them in her like apartment, and it's like so stupid. And I don't know, I feel like that's just strictly like, almost like journaling to me. Yeah, they really liked the way that I draw, so I drew them on a Victorian wall, and I was taking a silkscreen class this summer, and I'd never really done it before, and I asked them I told them I'd do their art and just did it all, and that was the first thing I've ever screen printed. So I hand wrote like 90 tapes or whatever on the inside. Well, the way that Rookie works is a month in advance we get like an editor's letter for the theme of every month, and we send like 3 pictures in, and then we get a response of which ones we do. So definitely making it for there. Sometimes if I have work that I've made previously, I'll pitch that in advance and then send it over, but most of the time it's like making new things based off that. Oh yeah, that's what my laptop is. It's like filled to the brim with photos, because I've been shooting since I was younger, so I have all of the stuff from high school that's like never seen light, and a lot of other stuff, and I'm like very secretive with my work, so yeah. I don't know if I'll eventually, like I really like putting together books and like curating stuff. I actually co-curated one of my roommate's shows, so I'd like to eventually put it all on its own, but until then. Most of the shooting I do, my dad bought me my baby camera, which is, I have a Contax G2, which is 35, which is mostly what I shoot, but I also really like to shoot with a Mamiya 7, and then for Rookie, a lot of times I actually shoot with a Instax wide, because it's on deadlines, it's good to do that instant film. And then for videos, I actually shoot a lot with like mini DV camcorders, like just very cheap commercial camcorders that I usually just borrow from friends because I don't have one, but yeah. I don't know, I feel like I'm just not aware or like feel very unaware, but it's always really exciting to have like to be at shows of friends and like see like teen girls like getting really excited over their music and stuff like that, because I'm glad that they're as excited as I am. And I don't know, yeah, it's always exciting to have friends' work being praised because they all deserve it. It's so funny because around last year I went to one show where Jake Lazovic, who's a musician based out of Baltimore, was actually renting my room because he was a mutual friend. And I went to a show that was Frankie Cosmos, Whatever Dad, Jake Lazovic, and Baby Mollusk, and I met them all in one go, and then like made all my friends. And kind of just like, I don't know, I think that people are a lot more shy than you think they are in those situations, so I think just being kind and saying hello, I know that I feel always like scared and would much rather have somebody approach me, makes it like very easy. I mean, Rookie is an internet-based publication, and I feel like that is the only place my work is on the internet, actually. I feel like it's impacted me in that that platform exists, and it's exciting for me to have it there and to see people receive it. But outside of that, I really get a little anxious about having my work being received in like a billion different contexts, and it's impacted me in the way that like I'm very much into like having like a physical presentation of my work to people versus like in digital space. So I think of something like Tumblr, and someone saw one photo of mine and then automatically related it to like some like stupid video that they saw right before it, and then like some other song, then automatically those are all in one context to each other, and then like you scroll down one more and then it's in relation to that, and everything that you're seeing so rapidly is completely changing the meaning of like a piece of art that I've made. So I try to have it exist in something like Rookie, which is so like tightly curated, and I can control and trust my editors and everyone else who works there to like have like a tight vision of like how that image is being received. And beyond that, I mean, like that's out of my control completely, and I try not to think about it existing outside of that space, but yeah. I just hope that the people that view it get some sort of like positive reaction from it, because I try to implant as much love as I can into it, and hope that that little bit of positivity travels to other people and that they can travel it elsewhere too. So that's all I can really hope for it. I don't know, I really am getting excited about making more music videos since it's still a pretty recent thing. I'd also really love to eventually make a book or a few books, but that's just like such a daunting thing to even think about. And I feel like there's so many different mediums out there that are really exciting to like think about doing, but like I'm far too like scared to even engage. So I think that I'll always make work for myself, and I'm interested in working like for other publications more, and like I eventually would like to go to grad school and teach because I think it's very important, but that's something like a bit later down the line that I'd like to do. But definitely just keep making work, and yeah.